And welcome to the Fandom Show, the podcast where we learn about fantastic fandoms by talking to our favorites about their favorites. I am Kyah Green.
And I am Stephanie Malik.
And today we are talking about how life finds a way. Roar! That's right, we're talking about Jurassic Park.
Oh my God.
Steph, how excited are you on a scale of 1 to Tyrannosaurus Rex?
I am Indominus Rex excited.
Yeah, you are.
I am so pumped. I friggin' love this movie, the original, and there's so many other movies now. We'll get into all of that, but I'm stoked. I just loved it since I was a kid. It was very, very impactfor me as a kid.
Formative.
It made me stop eating meat, which is very funny.
Yeah, and you still don't do that.
I still don't do it. So thank you, Lexi, for your inspiration. What happened to the goat? Where's the goat? But no, it's just an incredible film. I know we normally ask, what do you know about it? I know a lot about it.
You know a lot about it. In fact, the last couple of days, we've been watching a lot of Jurassic Park movies.
So much Jurassic Park.
Sometimes we do a lot of research. Sometimes we do a little bit less. But in this case, we were pretty dedicated.
Yeah. And we also watched it because we got a chance to watch in theaters the original Jurassic Park with our incredible guests that we have coming up.
Oh, my gosh.
Kyah, do you want to tell us a bit about our guests?
Yes, I absolutely do.
Chris Leveille is a comedian, a writer, and an all-around incredible person from Toronto. Also, just one of the nicest people you will ever meet. I promise you at the end of this, you're going to want to get in contact with this guy because he is just the sweetest in the world. Welcome, Chris Leveille. We're so happy to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here and to be ready to talk about Jurassic Park, which is the greatest film of all time. Come at me.
I'd be shocked if somebody did come at you, honestly. Like that, it is a rock solid film.
Well, yeah, 100%. This is when I took a film class in university. We had to write an essay on some kind of film, but then the moment we got to choose our own, Jurassic Park was immediately the first one I had. It was the one I had on VHS, and I would just play on repeat over and over and over whenever I had to write an essay because I knew it so well. I just needed something in the background, but to occupy that part of my brain that needed to be occupied. And so it has become ingrained. And it's just, oh my God, I'm just spilling out. I'm talking far too much. I'm talking far too fast.
No. This is the point.
But yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Please go on.
No, I was just going to say, just like you, Steph, I remember seeing it in theaters when I was a kid. And it was the first movie I saw that made me feel like magic is real, in the sense like the movie magic actually transforms what's on the screen. Or you can actually see what am I trying to say? That movies are real. That if you imagine, they can be real.
And they're so I'm trying not to get too into it. They're so good in this film of bringing you in and making it feel like you are in danger and you should be afraid of these dinosaurs that do not exist anymore. But they could.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, Spielberg's kind of the master of that, right? I mean, like if we look at what he had created prior to this, like Jaws was one of his first very, very big breakout films, and Jaws is masterful at doing that, right? Creating a sense of like tension and awe from something you can't even see. And in fact, he, I believe, was very hesitant to direct this film because he kept referring to it as Jaws on land. Like that it was the same thing, and he was worried about repeating himself. But he ended up choosing it specifically because he wanted to make Schindler's List, and the studio said, "We'll give you Schindler's List if you make Jurassic Park."
Who's the mayor in Jurassic Park?
Probably Hammond, right?
Hammond, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but the mayor didn't make Jaws.
Sure. I mean, I guess it's not a 1-to-1.
Well, Spielberg, come on.
There's a format that sells, and we know what it is.
Yeah.
It's actually more like a Frankenstein. Jurassic Park's more like a Frankenstein.
Yeah. Oh,
Jaws,
totally.
right?
Yeah.
It's like, let's create life and then get hoisted by our hubris. And...
All right, we're jumping so fast into this, but I'm going to scale us back for a second.
Okay.
Let's pretend someone listening to this has somehow never heard of Jurassic Park. How would you explain it?
Bum, 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 bum.
Starting from the very beginning.
You wanted me to retell the entire thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No, it's a movie about a theme park. I mean, Cole's Notes. It's a theme park with dinosaurs, and something goes wrong. And that's
Oh.
that would be like the teaser, because you can probably guess what goes wrong. But if I was talking to my brother, who I don't know if my brother's ever seen it. Has my brother never seen this?
Oh my God. This is
Oh my
happening
God.
live, people.
All right, Bean, I know you're listening. Jurassic Park. So this guy has made a theme park that has dinosaurs, but he needs some expert opinions to sign off on it to say that it's safe because something happened. So they all come over, they come to the island. And they're about to go on a tour and see these dinosaurs and are amazed that dinosaurs exist. But then there's a storm, and then all hell breaks loose. Can I say hell? Is that okay?
Yes.
Is this
Yeah, you
okay?
can say whatever you want.
Oh, okay. Then all shit damn hell breaks loose.
Yeah, sure does.
And everybody has to try to survive a night on the island without power, with dinosaurs roaming around. And do they make it? Maybe some do.
Maybe.
It's like a roller coaster ride of emotion. And what an adventure it is.
What an adventure it is. Perfect synopsis.
Absolutely.
A little shorter than I was hoping for. I was expecting a retelling, but that's okay. We'll move right along. So you mentioned
Okay.
you got into this, you watched it as a kid in the movies, but what about it? You know, you talked a bit about the magic. Were there other things in the story that really just grabbed you in it? Because obviously you're also a fan of the book, not just the film.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember after seeing the movie, I immediately got the book and read it on the bus to grade 3. And it was my introduction to Michael Crichton and his writing. And then I just became a huge Michael Crichton fan, and then read everything that he ever wrote, from Rising Sun to Sphere to all that other stuff.
He
It
was the
is-
hottest shit back then. Like,
Truly,
Oh my
like
God,
it's
yeah.
shocking when you read about Michael Crichton to be like, he wrote that story?
yeah.
You know, like, didn't he write ER?
Yeah. In fact, I think he and Spielberg worked on ER together,
That is
right?
correct. Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wrote ER, like the TV show with George Clooney.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
George Clooney, I hope you wrote him a thank you letter.
and the story that I heard was that Universal bought the rights to Jurassic Park before it was even written, because Spielberg and Crichton were working on ER, and Spielberg was like, "Oh, what's your next book?" And Crichton described it in a much more eloquent way than I did, and
Oh,
Spielberg was like,
impossible.
"This needs to be made."
Yeah, that's true. There was a bidding war for it before it was even published, which
Yeah.
is wild.
Yeah, absolutely incredible, and well worth it too, right?
Yeah, 100%. As a fan
Um,
of the book, what would you say the like differences are between the original movie and the book?
One's on paper.
Yes, yeah. And if you were to name other differences,
Okay.
what would they be?
Oh no, my hat!
Must be a dino close.
Oh no. What were in the book? I think like Hammond, in the movie, Hammond seems like he's Richard Attenborough. So he's like this kindly old man, but he's more like a ruthless corporate billionaire in the book, I think.
Yeah, a little bit more Musk, less
Less,
Santa Claus.
yeah. As opposed to the lawyer's a hero in the book. But
What?
in the movie, he just gets eaten off a toilet.
That's true.
One of the most humiliating deaths on screen. Like, I know he wasn't using the toilet, but if you gotta die, like what a place to die
I
publicly.
mean, he was by the time that T-Rex burst through, I bet you.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't blame him.
The other thing that I found really nice about the now I'm just talking about how things switched, but in the book, I remember I think Tim was older and had both the knowledge of the computer and the knowledge of the dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't think Lex really had like any kind of superpower.
What?
But in the movie, then they flipped that, or didn't flip that, but split it so that at least each kid had some form of a superpower and then had some form of impact.
Yeah, she was a hacker. She was hacking into the mainframe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the young guy was a dinosaur expert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Expert.
I mean, at the end of the day, that didn't really come into play since he was with another older
Another dinosaur
dinosaur
expert.
expert. Yeah.
But it gave him a reason to be so attracted to Dr. Grant and want to be around him so much, which I thought was really, really lovely and played
Mhm.
into the whole he doesn't want kids, but they sure love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that makes more sense and makes that kind of more more cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more family oriented.
Yeah. Um, the other big change is the way that the book ends and the movie, because the way that the book ends, I mean, it's been around for about 30 years, so no
You can
spoilers.
spoil it, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, if you haven't read or seen Jurassic Park, maybe go do that and then
Yeah.
come back to this episode.
Also,
'cause-
knowing the ending doesn't ruin Jurassic Park.
That's
It's
true.
it's
That's
not
true.
like oh you what's in the
Yeah.
box, you know?
yeah,
It's
I mean, we already mentioned that the lawyer gets eaten off a toilet.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
People getting by dinosaurs is shock. You get it. It's
Fair
still
enough.
fun.
There's very little mystery to it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much on the label, right?
Yeah.
In the movie, they go in the helicopter, they fly away, and the dinosaurs are doing their thing on the island. But in the book, I believe they firebomb the island
Yep.
to destroy the dinosaurs and all possibility of them getting off, which
No.
is why when Jurassic Park, the sequel, The Lost World, was around, both the book and the movie ended in such different ways. I even remember being a kid being like, "How will they reconcile these two? Which thread will they pull?"
Ah.
And that's I was so amazed at, like, I was so not amazed. I was so flabbergasted that he found a way, that life found a way, just by
Found a
being
way.
like, "Oh yeah, there was a second island where all the stuff happened. We're going to focus on there and not deal with any of the loose ends of the first."
Hilarious.
But also on the set when they get to the second island, because then later on they end up back at Isla Nublar, right? Like the other films go back to the original island.
Yeah,
Where's
Yes,
the
the
second
third-
island?
the
What's going
third
on
one
with this other
does.
island then? It didn't get firebombed? It's still out there.
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
remember what happened to that one.
You know what? That's a very good question, because I don't think I think they mention it in passing in the new ones, like, "Oh yeah, Isla Sorna did something or other," but we're focused on Isla Nublar the whole
Nublar.
time.
Would you go?
If
If that was real and you could get a ticket, would you go?
you mean on coupon day,
Yeah, coupon day for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other
say,
people.
Say we
you
could
know.
afford it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, it's funny. If my love of Jurassic Park does not extend really to real dinosaurs.
Okay.
That is interesting. Yeah.
So if this actually happened, I would be like, I mean, it's a dinosaur.
What?
I guess it'd be cool. But what I'm really curious, when I was a kid, I was really into figuring out the infrastructure of Jurassic Park.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and like, oh, what other redundancies could they have put in to prevent this from happening?
Okay,
Oh,
what? Which one? Tell me.
where should what I built it? We played Lego with friends, and one of my biggest decisions was, where do I put the bathrooms? Where do I put the accessible washrooms in here?
This is incredible.
And just to be
Yeah.
clear, you now have a degree in like design, right?
Yeah, I have a degree in I have a master's in design.
Yeah.
oh
yeah.
my god.
Maybe we tie back to Jurassic Park. I don't
I'm just-
know.
I'm
Who
just
knows?
saying it feels like maybe Jurassic Park led you here with your interest in redundancies.
I mean, Jurassic Park, I think, is fundamental and not formulaic, foundational,
Formative?
It's formative. It's formative for everyone who sees it. I think, because it's just such a fantastic film. It got you to give up meat.
Yeah.
It got me to think about redundant systems and how do you make those adjustments.
Kyah, did it do anything for you?
It made me watch a bunch more Jurassic Park.
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
Speaking of like sort of being foundational, this movie, I remember seeing it in my film school textbooks because it was such a foundational element of filmmaking at this time, like specifically for the graphics.
Mm.
like the special effects. Is there any like, do you know anything about that sort of element of it?
I know that so when they started, the idea was to do a combination of puppets and a combination of other visual effects.
Yeah.
But Spielberg didn't think they were doing well, so they tried CGI for the first time.
Yeah.
And
Whoa.
he
Really?
and he yeah, oh yeah, well, maybe not for the first time, but they tried CGI in this way, and
Yeah.
then Spielberg kept pushing them until they got it photorealistic, enough that he was, impressed. But he didn't think he could rely on the whole thing on just CGI, so they combined all 3, so that's why it's so tricky to watch, because there's sometimes where it's real. I think the only like, the when the T-Rex is stepping on the car, that's
Yeah.
just a T-Rex foot that's coming down, or the Triceratops is, I think
Oh,
the
that's animatronic.
Triceratops?
That's animatronic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was
Just
the
thinking
only
with the polyps.
I think that was the only puppet that made its way over to shooting. But then the raptors in the kitchen, I think, are all. Have you seen? They have like the claymation version, not like from Weird Al's video, but they have the clay the I don't even think it's claymation, but it might have been puppetry or stop motion or something that they were going to use or that they were trying to use.
Whoa.
On,
Really?
yeah, and it doesn't look as good because it's not CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also read a stat. How much CGI do you think is in the film?
Ooh.
I can't answer this because I believe in my research for these questions. I read the answer to this. So Steph, you guess.
Like, I don't want to, I don't think that much, but maybe there's a lot more than I think. Like, I want to, part of what I love about this movie is it does the marriage of CGI and realistic
Yeah.
effects so well
Yeah.
that I don't notice the difference. And I kind of like don't want to know. If that makes sense. Like, I mean, I do want to know because for the purpose of a podcast, it is important to be informational, et cetera, et cetera. But like,
No, we ask the question. We just ask the question. We don't
Yeah,
need to
yeah, yeah.
answer the question.
Think about
well,
it.
no, but it's like when you go to see a magic show and someone's like, "Do you want to know how they did that trick?" And I'm like, "I don't.
I always do.
I never
100% of the
do.
time.
I want to live in the magic." But please tell me how much of it is CGI.
I believe, and Kyah, you've done the research, so correct me if I'm wrong. I'm because I'm going from memory. I think it's like something like 6 minutes,
It is
5 or
in
6
fact
minutes.
6 minutes.
bless.
6 minutes worth of
Yay.
CGI in the entire movie.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Right?
yeah,
That makes sense.
impressive, eh?
And it's all I can think of is it's that shot of the brachiosaurs, the first time when we see
Yep.
the brachiosaurs.
Yep, totally.
Which also, if you watch it, you'll notice when he lands, the camera shakes. And it's that small little touch, like when I was a kid, that made me feel like, oh my God, this has to be real.
yeah.
Chef's kiss. That's
Um,
beautiful.
Right?
Well,
Mwah.
have you heard that Phil Tippett's story about that moment in particular?
No.
The dinosaur supervisor?
Yes, Phil
Phil
Tippett,
Tippett,
the
dinosaur
dinosaur
supervisor.
supervisor of Jurassic Park.
He had one job that he did poorly.
Yeah, well, what is the line that Malcolm says? He says like, "You did it, you bastards." That line. Well, that was actually what Phil Tippett said when he saw the CGI for the first Brontosaurus.
Oh,
wow.
That because they showed him some of the CGI before they went to camera, and that was his like honest reaction is you did it, you beautiful bastards, or whatever that line actually is. And so they gave it to Malcolm,
that's
Oh, wow.
nice.
right?
That's heartening.
I thought that was fun.
That's amazing. Also, that feeling of like seeing that on screen and being like, well, guess I'm done. Guess I'm out of a job.
You don't need me anymore. That's
Well-
the end for old Phil Tippett.
I think it's just such a fun. It's so enigmatic of what's interesting about this movie between Spielberg and the themes in the film of like creating wonder and creating like a sense of awe, because that's something Spielberg does really well, but it's also something
Yeah.
Hammond's attempting to do, right? And I
Yeah.
feel like that crossover between the making of a movie that is a spectacle and the making of the spectacle of Jurassic Park is
Mm.
really, really interesting.
Yum, yum, yum,
Yeah.
yum.
Oh my God. That makes me think, so when the movies came out, did you visit the websites at all?
Steph?
I don't know if I did. I don't remember.
Oh my God, this was in the era when they would have like those immersive website
Yes.
setups. And there was one, I can't remember what it was, but there was one where you could be a hacker, and if you'd hack into InGen's emails,
No way.
and then you
Oh
would
my
just,
God.
because I think there was some kind of mystery that you had to solve. But I was too little to really figure it out. But they were emails from like director of HR to director of security. But all it revealed to me, from what I remember, all it revealed were the affairs people were having, who was a drunk, all of these things that I was like, I just want to know
Unrelated.
more. Yeah.
You know, the things
I-
kids want to know.
I just remember being a kid and thinking, my God, don't air your dirty laundry on your work email. Send the Hotmail for that.
Apparently, the Lost World site is still up, but not the original Jurassic Park
No
site.
way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to get linked in our nerds letter.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, hopefully they still have that kind of playful thing too, because it just built out the world, right?
Yeah,
And
It
gave you
is.
all
It's
that
so
kind
much
of detail.
fun. Yeah, it makes it feel more real. So much so that I had to write one of those sort of like fake websites for a fake company for a YouTube series I worked on, and tons of people thought it was real.
Yeah.
Tons
Oh
of people.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, it was fascinating to watch. But it's
Well,
it's immersive, right?
yeah, yeah, and it just lets you feel like it could be real, just like the
Yeah.
movie itself with the dinosaurs and the effects really crosses that threshold between fantasy and reality, just like Hammond is doing, just like the like you were saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking a bit about Hammond and his desire to play God and create. But this is from Tyler. He's one of our patrons. He says, "Why haven't people learned the lesson of Jurassic Park, though? What are the themes in the original movie, and do you think they've managed to maintain it?"
Why haven't people learned the lesson of
They
Jurassic
keep
Park?
opening this park.
They do keep opening this
Why do they
Oh,
keep
oh,
opening the park?
or going back to the island. They've gone back to
Why
the
haven't they
island
learned
too
from
many
Hammond?
times.
Like Hammond was like, "Oh, oopsie doopsie," but then everyone's like, "No, you know what? This was a great idea. Let's go."
Because of money, baby.
Money,
$60.
baby.
Capitalism.
I thought Tyler was asking why not in real life, and I was going to say, oh yeah, because it's Frankenstein. Because we haven't even learned the thing from Frankenstein. We
That's true.
True.
stand on the shoulders of giants because we can make a profit quick and easy and be the first to do something. But in the film world, I think it's just because everybody money, and there's always somebody who wants that power.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
Ludlow, I think, was it Ludlow in the second one? His nephew,
yeah, I think
um,
so.
who then sets it up in San Francisco, and that goes bonkers.
Lord,
Uh,
they keep bringing these dinosaurs to land. Where we've left off is the dinosaurs are free. They're running around mainland California
That's
right
right.
now.
We have in the last couple of days watched a lot of the films, and we are currently on Jurassic. We just finished Jurassic
Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom. Yep. Sorry, I have trouble keeping the names
Jurassic
straight at a
World
certain
Fallen
point.
Kingdom.
What do you think of the sequels, the reboot? Like, did you watch the reboot in theaters? Did it scratch that itch for you?
I will always watch a Jurassic Park movie in theaters,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
no matter how upset I will be.
No matter how many dinosaurs attack other dinosaurs that then attack other dinosaurs.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
truly a turducken of dinosaurs in that
Absolutely.
that
Oh my
movie,
God.
just one after another.
Oh yeah, it's like the little old lady who swallowed a fly.
Yes, it absolutely is.
She just gobbled them all up.
So, what
Uh,
was your impression? Because I assume, had watched Jurassic Park 2 and 3, which
Yeah.
were the original sequels, and then Jurassic World with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard would be the reboot that happened 20
22
years
years
later.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was so excited because I was like, finally, yes, we see the potential. This is a franchise that could live on forever if somebody reboots it well.
It was extinct, but we're going to bring it back to life by taking its
We
DNA
know how to do it right this time.
and putting it on an island.
And you know what? I was angry at the movie while I watched it because I wanted Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then midway through, I told myself, oh, if I just dissociate Jurassic Park from this and I
Yep.
look at it as a monster movie, instead of Jurassic Park, because Jurassic Park isn't a monster movie. I don't think it follows the classic things of a monster movie, but but the reboots seem to follow that.
Yep.
Then I can enjoy it, but not to the same degree that I do with Jurassic Park. or with the original?
I think the original does something, it's not your typical blockbuster movie. It's not cartoonishly overblown constantly. It has a slow build, a slow tension. It has a lot of heart. It has a lot of big theoretical, philosophical questions in it. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm laughing. It's not because of you. I'm laughing because historically speaking, if we're talking about filmmaking,
Yeah.
it actually just was the typical blockbuster. It was one of the like first big summer blockbusters. Like Jaws started summer blockbusters. And then you had like a couple of other movies in there, but it is one of the quintessential
I
summer
guess,
blockbusters.
but based on how they have
How they are now,
marvelized and
yeah.
like everything
Yeah.
has become so over the top.
So, what was funny to me is just the idea that we've come so far in blockbusters that they're now just kind of like chaos monsters full
Yeah.
of CGI where you can't see what's happening at any given time.
Yeah.
And that's what they used to be.
True. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. But I think, the reboot of it is so cartoonishly like in the
Oh,
reboots
yeah.
too, you see a dinosaur right away. Like in Jurassic Park, you don't see it very similar to Jaws until quite a ways in before you actually see the T-Rex at all.
100%. And in the original, I think 5 people die from the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So you actually care. You actually know these people and you care about them. Whereas in the sequels, like, I don't know, 30 dozen people die within the first
Yeah.
30
Absolutely.
minutes.
Yeah.
So it's just after that point, it's a body count. It's
Yeah.
how more grisly can we make this, which wasn't
Yeah.
the case in Jurassic Park. I mean, sure, we love seeing a lawyer get eaten on a toilet.
But also you don't really see the carnage of it. That's one thing that they did really well, I think, is
Yeah.
you know it's happening, but because it's a family movie and it's a kids movie, you're not seeing people being ripped in half and their blood
Yeah.
splattering everywhere. Whereas like in the newer ones, the one that comes to mind first of all is in the helicopter, and one of them gets stabbed through the
Oh,
front of the helicopter
was
with
so
the beak
funny.
of a pterodactyl. It's just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Oh my
It's next level dumb.
I keep thinking of the assistant, her assistant who's looking after the kids, who gets like tossed up in the
Oh,
miles and
yeah.
torn
Oh, my
into
God.
multiple pieces. Yeah. And all she's doing is trying to live her life.
Trying to do her job. She got fluffed off with these 2 kids. That's
Yeah.
not her
Yeah.
job. Her job is probably to help ensure operations run smoothly and book
100
meetings.
100%. She is admin support. She is not a babysitter. She has a legit grievance to file with that HR person, but the HR person's too busy
Yeah.
having an affair with the head of security, according to the emails.
According to the emails. Yeah. I mean, I think another part of it too is not just the dinosaurs being like more cartoonish, which they certainly are, especially Blue, the velociraptor, who is indistinguishable from Lassie the dog, and just loves Chris Pratt with all of its little velociraptor heart, saves Chris Pratt's life like 7 different times.
Look, he's a loyal friend.
Yeah, he's also a velociraptor. Anyway, the
we'll
point
fight
is,
about it later.
yeah, like that is obviously quite cartoonish.
Yeah.
And there were several people on our Patreon who did in fact mention this.
Sound of Darkness on Discord.
Yeah, Sound of
also
Darkness on
mentioned
Discord.
this.
I just want to give you a shout out because you referred to them as Scooby-Doo monsters, and I think you're absolutely right about that. But
100%.
one thing that I also think is worth adding is the humans are different and more cartoony. Like in the original Jurassic Park, they're people, you know?
Yeah, they're full. The thing that I find fascinating is Dr. Henry Wu, who's a character in the book.
Yep.
You see him in Jurassic Park 1 because he's the guy who is on the clipboard. He erases something, which he would never do in a clean room with a real eraser, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, good point.
He's in there with the clipboard and he's the geneticist. And then suddenly he's a mustache twirling villain in the last one.
That's a good catch.
So it's fascinating, and I believe it's the same actor who plays.
He does.
Plays Dr. Wu through the whole thing. But that for me was the moment where I was like, okay, this is completely different. I can't trust this because everything is a cartoon now. Everything is, or any kind of complication is stripped away so that we can just get to the action. We're taking everything away so that we can get to action. Whereas in Jurassic Park, I don't even know when the dinosaur like apart from the opening sequence, I feel and the brachiosaurus, I feel like we're past the midpoint, are we? By the time we actually get to the T-Rex attack?
Yeah, I mean, isn't there that line Dr. Malcolm has? Hey, are there
Are
any
going to be dinosaurs on this dinosaur tour?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello?
And like
Um,
Dr. Malcolm is cartoonish, obviously. Like when we all saw this in theaters recently, the moment of Malcolm lying there, the like meme moment got
Yeah.
a full laugh.
Full audience laugh. But that's almost
Yeah.
because it's so iconic at this
Yeah,
point. Like when you would
exactly.
originally see that, you'd be like, yeah, man, he's hurt and he's
Yeah.
dirty and
Hubba hubba.
hubba hubba. But
He's hurt and
it
dirty and
becomes-
hubba hubba. Oh,
it
yeah.
becomes such a meme of this Jeff Goldblum. Like you see that on T-shirts
Yeah.
around.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Are there
Um,
any other Jurassic Park memes that you're like that you hold on to?
I mean, there's the classic Ellie Sattler quote of God creates dinosaurs, God destroys dinosaurs, God creates man, man creates dinosaurs, dinosaurs destroy man, women inherit the earth.
Nailed it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It might not be completely correct, but that I feel like is. I had a sticker of that. Like
Yeah.
you can buy prints of it.
It's a good
Oh,
one.
Oh my God.
I
Yeah,
also
yeah.
I love the they do move in herds. That's
They do move in.
also, did
herds.
anybody ever watch the YouTube video of the guy playing the theme song and it like cuts abruptly to his cover of it, but it's like
the bad melodic?
yeah, that's the one.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it lives
my God.
on.
It
Um,
lives in our hearts. Yeah.
So here's a question. This is from Adam on Patreon. If you've seen the original Jurassic Park and nothing else, does one need to be a completionist to catch up and enjoy the series, or is it better to avoid some of them and jump back in at a different point, or abandon entirely?
I would say the law of diminishing returns applies. If you've only ever seen the first one, for my personal opinion,
Yeah.
you've seen them more recently, so we can argue. But I feel like
I don't think we will.
I don't need to die on this Jurassic Hill.
I feel like the first one is the gold pinnacle. Then you get to the second one where they go back to the island. Ian Malcolm's in it. It's a little bit of fun. The end goes off the rails.
He has a daughter that suddenly he's all responsible for, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
did we need this from him?
Doesn't she like do parallel bars and then drop kick a dinosaur?
Yes, she does.
Wait,
she's
what?
she's a gymnast,
missed
and
this
she
part.
didn't make the gymnastics team. And then she does a flip over parallel bars, kicks the velociraptor in the face, and then Malcolm is something like, "And you didn't make the team, eh?" So bad.
So
Oh,
that's
that
where we start
precious.
to ratchet up the cartoonness of it. And then as long as I think if you accept that if you look at them as individual films that are only tied together by an idea as opposed to a continuous set of characters and all that, I think you will have a good time.
Yeah.
But don't imagine that you're getting the first one in any of the other films.
No, I feel like it's like when people go to medieval times dinner and tournament and they're like, I'm expecting to watch a huge duel. And it's like, nah, man, you're going to drink out of a bowl and you're going to watch some birds fly around. And if you get into it, you'll have a great time. If you abandon these like big expectations, you're going to have fun. But you just have to
100%.
get into the right mindset of watching it. You can't go in being like, I can't wait to feel.
I feel like it's probably like a high school reunion in a way. Like you had a great time if you had a great time in high school and then you go back to it, something's weird and off. It's not really the same and you're just
Yeah.
trying to figure things out. And then the further away you get from your actual high school, things get weirder and weirder. I don't know. I've never been to a high school reunion because
Me neither. Can't confirm.
If your high school reunion was at Jurassic Park, would you go?
yes, 100%. Oh yeah.
Would you wish some of your high school people get eaten by dinosaurs?
A loaded
Ooh.
question.
I know. They might be listening.
I know.
Drama.
Oh no, I actually enjoyed a lot of my high school experience.
That's
I
really
mean,
nice. Me
parts
too,
of it.
actually.
Me too.
I
Aww.
Good for
I-
us.
wouldn't want any of. See, this is why I was trying to figure out those redundant systems so that we can have this reunion at Jurassic Park without anyone getting eaten.
All right, this one is from Kevin on our Discord. Which would you prefer if you had the power? Keep the sequels going, reboot the entire thing, or make a drastic change that's a functional reboot, kind of like Ghostbusters Afterlife?
Oh, what a good question.
That's a
Yeah.
solid one.
Um, see, I would almost say, and I'm curious to know what you both think,
Okay.
I would want a reboot, a pure reboot starting from scratch, but it has to be the right creative team. Spielberg has to be on board.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we have to we need the right actors. I don't know what that combination would be in this modern day. Because we're already getting a seventh movie. We're getting another one.
Which is shocking because I mentioned this before. When I was reading out like brief summaries of all of them leading into this episode, it said in the description for the sixth movie that it's the final installment.
Yeah, the final. It's like when you save drafts. Final.
Brackets
Two.
one.
Yeah.
Brackets.
Yeah.
The real one.
Yeah, exactly.
Comma doc X.
Yeah, that's how movies work now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg.
As long as people are willing to buy a ticket, they will. There's
That's
no
right.
such thing as a final until.
That's right.
No, this new one has Jonathan Bailey in it, and I forget who else. So I do have hope for it, but I read a little bit of the plot synopsis, and I was like, okay, I think the thing is dinosaurs, because they were taking over the world at one point, but now because of the heat, they can only live near the equator, so people don't live in the equator. But now they found that these dinosaurs' DNA cure specific disease.
Sure it
So
does.
Jonathan Bailey is a paleontologist who has to go and get some DNA for a drug company or something like that.
Of course.
Great.
And while I adore Jonathan Bailey,
I don't know who he is. I just looked up a picture of him and I don't think I've seen that man's face in my life.
oh, he's in Bridgerton, and he's in the new Wicked, and he's in.
He's going to be in the new season of Heartstopper, apparently.
Oh, is he? Oh, I'm gonna have to catch
They
up.
just teased a cameo of him. But yeah, I've
Oh,
never
amazing.
seen this man in my life.
Yeah, he's kind of an I think he's a British actor. He's in W something. I don't know. I really enjoy him.
Great.
He's a bit of a gay icon, I think.
Yes.
And
Good.
absolutely adorable.
Does
So
that
I
mean
have
the new Jurassic Park is going to be so woke because he's gay?
No, I assume that they're going to reinforce the heterosexual norm,
love doing
as every movie has so far.
Honestly, even more so with the Chris Pratt movies. Like, speaking of cartoons, Chris Pratt in those movies, I don't understand what happened.
He was so wonderful for so long.
And then those movies happen. And do you remember the outcry at the begin? I remember there's all this controversy after the first one, that because Bryce Dallas Howard plays like this powerful character who then has to fall into Chris Pratt's arms, and also is running around the park in these heels.
Yeah.
And cannot take off the heels.
Yep.
Astonishing. Though I did notice in the one right after, they do make a point of showing you that she's wearing boots as she gets off the plane.
Yeah, it's funny that they're like,
we learned.
We heard you. We audience tested this, and she's strong now. So I think you'll find we're not in trouble.
But see, give me an Ellie Sattler any day.
Oh,
she is independent, strong, knows what she wants, is not scared to put her go like what is that, elbow deep in shit.
That's right.
She will do what it takes to get stuff done.
Yeah, she straight up ruled.
Absolutely. She's not there for anyone but herself and her research, and she knows what she wants, and she gets it.
And she's a beloved character. Steph has cosplayed Ellie Sattler multiple times, and every single time you do, people stop you at like conventions and stuff.
I've never felt as cool or badass in my life as when I'm dressed up as Ellie Sattler. I have to be honest. It gives me a confidence that I do not have.
Oh my God. I can imagine people must love that when you're at a convention to see that icon.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I can't keep talking about my cosplay and how much I love it.
Yes, you can.
Please. Oh my God.
Who is your favorite character in the series? Like, is there someone that you're like, this is my icon, my goal. This is the best one.
Oh my God. I mean, is this the best one? It can
be a dinosaur. I'm just putting that out there.
Okay, I was going to tell you who I had a crush on as a kid, but it was not a dinosaur.
It could be a dinosaur.
I mean,
It can also
look,
not be. It can be a
okay.
human. It can be a human.
Okay, if you had to have which is your dinosaur crush? Who is your dinosaur crush?
Oh,
And
who's my
then
dinosaur crush?
mine's a raptor. Mine's
Okay.
the Velociraptor from the first one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But
Smart.
yeah, I feel like smart, quiet, keeps to themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
and
like
a good-
from. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. And a good listener.
I was going to say, yeah, a good listener, a good hunter, a good team player.
listener.
That Velociraptor can provide for you.
Yeah,
true.
100%, 100%.
We'll
Strong
take care
family
of business.
bonds.
Yeah, they have very strong team bonds. Like
Yep.
they look out for each other.
Yeah.
I feel like I would like my vibe. First of all, is to say blue because I love blue.
Steph.
But
Steph.
the one who has my truest
Oh,
heart is the
no.
T-Rex.
The
The T-Rex
T-Rex.
is
Yeah.
just she's an icon. She comes
Mhm.
out, she screams a bunch, she bites some shit, and then she leaves.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I like that independent spirit. I like that she takes no shit from nobody.
No.
And she just does whatever she wants. And
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
also loyal. She comes back to take care of those people on that island. She doesn't need to. She doesn't need to
You're-
take care of them at all. They're there to hurt her.
Yeah, you're right. She faces the challenges that she's presented, and she does so with aplomb.
Yeah.
That's right.
And she got that thick booty.
so
Oh
thick.
yeah,
Yeah, thick girl.
She making
She
those
got-
ripples in water, baby.
Oh, yeah, she got that thick booty and them tiny arms.
That's how I like them.
The new
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian look. Big booty, tiny arms.
Kyah, do you have a dino crush?
You know, the one that always comes to mind, and I never remember the name of it, is it's got like that that kind of like crest on its head.
Like the V?
Man, I forget what it's called. Maybe this is a bad answer. But
Oh.
they're not like duck-billed, but they have like almost like a mohawk type thing on their head.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is
You
that
know
the
those ones?
Gallimimus?
Maybe.
It's the one that they're running in the big herd when this T-Rex comes in and bites one of them, right?
Yeah, those
Yeah,
ones.
that's the
yeah,
Gallimimus.
I like
Yeah.
those. I don't know. There's just I've always liked those. Oh, and the ankylosaur, but that comes in later. That's not in the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
Jurassic
yeah.
Park. But I just like that dinosaur because he's cool.
He's got that cool little
Yeah.
body, that cool little tail.
Cool little body. Cool little spiky
body.
body. Just a living
Uh,
mace. Those.
They're flocking this way.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I like those ones. And I will say the brontosaurus, the vegetarian brontosaurus is also.
I believe it's a brachiosaurus.
Oh, brachiosaurus. I'm so
Brachiosaurus.
sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone.
It's
I am.
got the taller head. I'm just saying.
I am not a dinosaur expert. I know more about chaos theory. But
Please.
but yes, I do also love that scene. That's such a sweet, like tension relieving scene in the first movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We-
Yeah, it's just such exquisitely made. But that was also the part where I reeled as a kid when she gets sneezed on.
Yeah.
I was like, blah, blah. And to this day, I close my eyes when that happens because I just keep thinking, but what if my mouth was open?
Oh, I know. It's the mouth part of it. It's like
Yeah.
it can get on my skin. That's fine. But her mouth was open, man. She got some of that in there for sure.
Oh
Yeah, but they're just like big cows. They're so sweet.
Yeah, I don't want a cow sneezing in my mouth either.
I'm not saying you should want that. I'm just saying they're still cute.
Oh,
Sneezes aside,
Very
I
cute,
think they're
very
still
cute.
very, very big
Oh,
and cute.
adorable. They're
Yeah.
like big cows.
Yeah, exactly. I love them.
yeah, Vegisaurus, you know?
Yeah.
Vegisaurus.
What would you say is the nerdiest thing you've ever done in relation to your love of Jurassic Park?
The nerdiest thing I've ever done. When oh, good question. When I was a kid, I went as Dr. Grant for Halloween.
Aw.
When I was probably 12,
Cute.
and had my brother's Barney the dinosaur stuffy with me to
Oh my
explain what I had.
god. Yes.
And I was still, my parents, I think, were concerned that people may not know who this kid was, who was just wearing a hat and a blue shirt and khakis. So Mad Magazine had put out their cover of Jurassic Park. It was Jurass has Haddock Park. So I sat there and I traced the Jurassic Park emblem off of that, but
Oh
with
my
Alfred.
God.
But instead of a T-Rex, it was Alfred E. Newman, his face, and
Oh
I
my
had
God.
that plastered to my stomach. So that was
And
me.
that explained
going
things,
there.
I'm sure.
People were like, "And what are you?" And I was like,
I'm a
"I'm
paleontologist.
I'm a paleontologist from Jurassic Park." And they're like, "Mm-hmm. All right.
Sure.
Here's a handful of candy. Good, good."
Yeah, the adults are like, "Oh, kid, I don't actually care. Take your candy."
Yeah, yeah. But that and then I finally went on the Jurassic Park ride at Universal Orlando.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's so fun.
Uh yes, it is. Sorry. But I was too scared because my friends wanted to go on the ride, and so we had to go to the washroom first, and they have the little rotunda there. And we popped in, and there was a floor down below, and it was also a cafeteria, and I wanted to explore, but I was too scared and embarrassed to tell my friends, can we spend 50 minutes here so I can
Oh
look?
no,
So I
never
just
be
walked
embarrassed.
away. I just walked away and
Never
went on
be
the flame
embarrassed.
ride.
No, never be embarrassed.
Um,
Ask for the things that you want.
But the ride is very fun, and you can watch if there's no way you're ever getting down there and you don't mind spoilers, you can watch ride through videos, which I do with rides a lot.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's exciting. I always forget about being able to do that.
Yeah, I do it all the time because like I don't have flying around the world and going to theme park money, but I do love rides and I find them fascinating. So like I'll look up Disney rides that are in, China or whatever, and people will film them. And obviously it's not as good.
Yeah, you're not immersed in it.
Yeah,
but It's
exactly.
still cool.
Yeah, it's still fascinating.
Have-
You should. Do you sit in like an office chair and then follow the same?
I haven't, but I should.
and if it's a water ride,
Yeah.
get a spray bottle. and just-
Yeah.
Watch it in the shower.
Oh my god.
Spare no expense.
Spare no expense. Precisely.
Oh,
Oh.
I think I think my favorite character is Hammond. I think my favorite character
Oh.
is John Hammond.
Why so?
That's a good one.
Why? What about him?
He
And his book or movie version?
movie version,
Okay.
Richard Attenborough version, because he's so sincere, and I feel like he's genuinely like his intentions are sincere and good. He doesn't necessarily seem to care about the money in the thing. He wants to create an experience for people. I think that's what got me excited about theme parks originally. Plus he looks like Santa Claus. And when I was a kid, I was like, oh, he looks like everybody's grandpa.
He must be
Yeah.
good and nice.
Yeah, exactly. He's dressed in white, so he must be the hero. And Ian Malcolm's dressed in black, must be the villain.
And he loves ice cream. He's eating so much ice cream in the
Oh,
movie.
Oh yeah,
What a
yeah,
good
yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
What a good time for the like villain to be at their lowest and eating a whole fuckload of ice cream.
Oh.
So great.
Yeah. But it's so interesting, right? Because
Is he
he
the
the
villain? Right.
villain?
Yeah, exactly.
his actions have started this whole thing, but was he just like unable to see through the consequences, or was it hubris like Victor Frankenstein?
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it is one of those things where it's like there is no true villain. There's just different threats, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, but in that scene, the whole crux of that scene is him being like, "Great, I know how to fix it now. We can keep doing this. Let's keep going." And she's like, "What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
People are dying out there, and you're worried about how to reboot this park? Like, this is wrong what you're doing."
Yeah.
And does he fully turn over by the end of it? I don't know
Yeah.
if he does.
But does that make him a villain or a flawed individual? I don't know. I don't know.
Ooh.
But there is nuance in that first movie. You know?
Yeah.
That just that escapes like a dinosaur in every subsequent film
Yeah.
and is never put back on the island.
Do you have a favorite character, Kyah?
Oh, I mean, probably Dr. Ian Malcolm, or I
Mhm,
would say Sattler as well. Like Sattler's
Yeah.
just so fucking awesome. But what Dr. Ian Malcolm brings to the table in terms of just swaggering confidence, in terms of chaos theory, in terms of just like adding that element of we can't control the world. That kind of narration
Yeah.
is philosophically very interesting.
He shows up and is ready to fuck immediately.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Like he does
Oh.
not give a shit. He's like, "I'm gonna fuck this woman."
No, I love that. That he's immediately going to this place where there's only going to be dinosaurs, and he's already like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fuck. It's gonna happen."
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get some. Life finds a way, you know.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
does my penis.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. We're gonna do a bit of a lightning round here, and I'm gonna pit you against some of the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, and I want to know how you would survive an encounter with them.
Okay. Oh God.
Okay, we're starting off with a Dilophosaurus, which is the venom spitting guys with the little frills on the side.
How would I protect? Put my hands in front of my eyes and run.
Good.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Or just learn from the movie and don't berate them verbally. Don't make fun of them for being stupid, because they seemed otherwise fine.
Yeah, he seemed like he was just interested, just
That's right.
curious until.
Don't call them stupid.
The villain of the movie is Nedry. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
He's
What are
the
we talking
villain.
about?
how did we even forget that part?
Because he got killed by a bunch of Dilophosaurus at the beginning.
Yeah.
And we never saw him again. But that can of Barbasol is still out there. I can't get over it. He drops it and they make a point to show the can of Barbasol. And we don't know where it is. What if it's still out there?
There was a script floating around for Jurassic Park 4 in the early 2000s that was called Nedry's Revenge.
What?
Yeah. I think you can find it out there.
No way.
I don't know. So I don't know if this is official canon or if this was somebody's project for a reboot or anything like that. I think I have a copy on my desktop. I'll flip it over to you. It's in my to read pile, so I haven't read it, but it's supposed to. I think it builds off of that. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't read it.
Where he's like, yeah, I tried to do this and now we've got all the DNA and it's coming back for you.
Yeah.
Bitches.
I mean, he's dead.
He's dead.
He's super dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what he
Right?
started.
Yeah.
What
What
he's still alive.
Unless he comes back with they just finally find him in the next movie. He's just clawing his way out. He's like, oh my god,
Got
oh my god,
scars all over his face.
yeah. I've survived for 30 years in this goddamn place.
Honestly, at this point, would I be shocked if that were in Jurassic World 4? No, I would not.
I wouldn't be shocked if he came back as half dinosaur, half Nedry.
Right? Like
truly.
he and the Dilophosaurus just got it on and suddenly he's half him and half
Yeah,
Dilophosaurus.
that was his dinosaur crush.
Absolutely.
Half
All right.
half dinosaur and half Jeep, and I would be on board.
All
Okay,
right,
next.
Your next encounter is you up against a Spinosaurus, which is the one with a huge sail on his back, which is argued to be the longest of all carnivorous dinosaurs.
You know, I wish more scary things were measured by length.
Well, it's longer than the T-Rex. It's important.
How long is the clown from It? Would I-
Well, this guy's 45.9 feet, so is Pennywise longer than that?
This guy. So, and this one's a land one, right?
Yeah, he's from Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah. I would. This one, I would try to scurry up a tree as best I can,
Smart.
yeah, that's usually my answer for most dinosaurs. Scurry up a tree until they leave.
Okay.
Unless there is tree dinosaur, and then I'm out of luck. There we go.
Okay. Well,
Science field delivered.
I guess I can't ask any of these except for Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, the Dimorphodon, the pterosaur with the needle-like teeth that can fly, the guy who ends up stabbing the guy through the chest. How would you
Oh.
fight him? Can't be in a tree.
Oh no! Oh
You also
no!
don't have to fight them. You could just
You
coexist
could,
with them.
yeah. Like, do you talk to him?
Oh yeah. Okay. If I'm D&Ding this, yeah, I would talk to. I would try to talk to this guy.
Do you have speak with dinosaur?
Oh no! I do.
Okay, he does not
I do-
listen. He does
I
not
do-
hear you.
I've got a lute.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that could help.
Okay,
great.
what do you try to play on the lute?
Bum 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 bada bam, bum,
He likes it. He likes
Good.
it. He flies away.
Cute.
Okay,
Cute.
you are now near some water, and suddenly out comes a Mosasaurus, the giant water creature that ends up eating so many people despite being in water.
I would move away from the water.
You know, you'd think it would be that easy, but for some reason he keeps coming back.
Because no one's stopping this guy. He's in water. You don't need to be there.
Yeah, you can leave. You can leave.
You can Mosasaur on.
Oh, nice.
Oh, no, it was terrible. Don't do that. Okay.
Okay, what about a stegosaurus? What would you do if you encountered a stegosaurus?
Ooh, they're herbivores, right?
That is
That's
correct.
true.
I probably, if he's not startled, I would probably want to go and hug him.
Oh, nice.
Aw.
I love that.
He hugs right back. You are
Aw.
crushed to death.
Oh no, it was worth it. That's how I wanted to go.
Died doing what he loved.
Hugging a dinosaur.
Yeah.
All right. Classic Tyrannosaurus Rex. What do you do?
Oh. Oh, well, I was gonna say stand still,
Classic.
but
Do you
apparently,
think you could stand still though?
Wait, apparently what?
Yeah, apparently. Please go on.
current academic theory for tyrannosauruses is that their vision is not based on movement, and in fact, they react to smell.
Oh dear.
Okay, so what do you do?
Oh, I try not to smell.
Yeah, great. Good choice.
Apply some perfume. Just probably pray.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
yeah,
a good
fair.
one.
All right, a velociraptor.
Oh, pray harder.
That's a good one. That's
It's very funny because this was the prediction of what you would answer for these guys. All right, we're going Indominus Rex, which for those who haven't seen the newer movies is a T-Rex mixed with Velociraptor, Abelisaur genes, a Gigantosaurus, and more. So it's made to be bigger than a T-Rex with long forelimbs, slashing claws, crocodile teeth. It can change the shape, color, and texture of its skin. It has no thermal signature, so it doesn't show up on infrared cameras, and it can see infrared.
Yeah. So it's just like it's the plot hole's natural predator.
Yeah.
I forgot about this dinosaur, and I remember that this was what made me go, "Oh, this isn't Jurassic Park anymore."
Yeah, 100%.
And I was so upset. I started to Google this dinosaur, and I found out the reason he's in the movie is because you can't trademark a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So anybody could make a Tyrannosaurus Rex doll. But this is made for this movie. So if anybody else ever puts out a doll about a dinosaur or uses it in another thing, it's coming from this particular movie.
Whoa.
And there's rights.
I'm so mad.
Okay, that's funny because if I remember correctly, there's a line in the movie where they talk about making custom dinosaurs, and some guy makes a joke. What are they going to do? Start calling it like Pepsisaurus Rex, and so on and so forth.
Yep.
What are we going to do? Like sell dinosaurs to companies? So they were literally just talking about the thing they actually did.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Oh my God. How would I survive that dinosaur?
Yeah.
Probably try to take a picture of it and then get slapped down. Probably, yeah, slap it with a copyright infringement lawsuit.
You're legally not allowed to exist.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, and the final one from Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom, the Indoraptor, which is an Indominus Rex mixed with a Velociraptor that has opposable thumbs, enjoys playfully tormenting its prey, and is conditioned only for killing.
Oh my, sounds like a raccoon.
It is, in fact, just a raccoon.
It's a raccoon.
It's just a raccoon. Probably just leave a trail of garbage for it to follow them away from me.
Perfect. You survive.
Oh yeah, but what world
did.
am I left with? What world have I inherited?
Nothing
Good
but
question.
a fallen kingdom. Jurassic World.
It is funny that music is in every single movie, but the way it's used is so different every single time.
Yeah, the first one, it's like, the first view of the world. You see birds flying. You see Brachiosaurus is walking across. And then by the time you get to Jurassic World, it's like, hey, it's a theme park.
Look, isn't it a big theme park?
Look at that main building. Cool.
Oh, that music though, that is the I want that to be played at my wedding. That's what I want to walk down any aisle to, whether it's the wedding aisle or whether it's the shopping market aisle. That music, I actually listen to that when I go to the gym. I put on John Williams. That was also my first album purchase was
Really?
I bought 2 albums, so I guess it's a thing, but one of them was Jurassic Park soundtrack. The other was the
cool.
the other was the Lion King soundtrack.
Both are the right purchases. Those are good purchases.
I have the Lion King soundtrack. I listen to it every Christmas while I decorate the tree. Don't ask.
Oh.
I feel like the Jurassic Park theme, though, every time I hear it, like even if it comes on the radio or something, like my heart swells and my eyes start to
Yeah.
well, and it is just such an immediate, visceral reaction in the
Mm.
best possible way.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's stunning. What he does with that score is ridiculous.
Can you think of any other song or any other score that has that exemplifies that level of awe and wonder?
I mean, if I
Ooh.
do, there are other John Williams
Truly,
scores?
I think they're
Yeah.
only like there might be a couple Morricone ones. We talked about on our soundtracks episode, but not a lot. Like truly, nothing quite to that level. And Morricone, the ones that really get me have some vocals in it and stuff like that. This is just pure music at its most impressive and impactful.
Yeah, well, it just like it seems to encapsulate the scale. It has a
Mm.
sense of scale, in a way
Yeah.
that you feel like you're in an open space. You feel like you're that. I don't know how whether this makes any sense, but that music sounds like looking up at something bigger than you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
100%. 100%. You feel like it feels so grand. It feels like you're seeing Paris for the first time
Yeah.
because Paris is grand.
In case you were wondering.
Not because
In case
John
you wonder.
Williams does the underscoring while you're in Paris.
No.
I
But
would.
that's true. That's because he uses all the orchestra in all of his scores.
Yeah.
So it's there's no minimalism there. It's all maximal. I'm just saying the same word that I don't know if it's the word. We got
Maximosaurus Rex.
Maxim Dominus Rex.
Rex. Maxim.
We're making up dinosaurs for you,
And
Hollywood.
trademarking them.
That's right.
You can't have
You
them.
can't have them.
You can't have them. Oh my god, we
And
should
this
get
one is hot. Everyone's gonna
This
have a
one
crush on it.
stacked.
Oh
Those
yeah.
kitties on that dinosaur just popping.
Yeah, those
Oh,
arms,
yeah.
they're tiny.
Oh the belly fingers. Oh.
She couldn't do anything with the little hands.
Oh, gross. Anyway,
Chris, is there anything you need to get out there about Jurassic Park that you need the people to know that you want to share?
Anything that I need people to know about Jurassic Park? I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, you simply must. If you need a picture of the little raptor breaking out of its egg, I used to be able to do that freehand when I was in junior
What?
high because I did it so
Really?
often. Yep.
Oh,
So
I love
I
that.
could try to do that for you at some point. Jurassic Park. I think if anybody, I think we just need to have a good time in the sense that oh Chris, oh my god, my brain.
It's okay. If you want to take a beat, we can also cut some of that out, and then you can say
No,
what you
keep
want to
it-
say.
Keep it all
Keep it
in.
in.
Perfect. I
Keep
love it.
all in.
Chris finds a way.
Chris will find a way. I think one of the things that I'd like people to think about Jurassic Park, especially in this day and age, is that time has passed since Jurassic Park has been went up, and I remember being a kid and watching movies from 20 years before and being like, "Wow, that's lame," because it didn't match the standards of the day. So I'd want people who haven't seen Jurassic Park, who are watching it now, to know that it was magical at that time. And to me, it still is magical. It still brings you into a brand new world. Literally, you go to a world that does not exist. You go to this literal island where fantasy can happen. And it did it in such a believable and magical way for me. And I hope it does for you too. And you can leave the sequels at the door.
Hot take. That is, everyone agrees with.
A beautiful sentiment about the power of imagination and the lack of power in sequels.
And the hubris of continuing to make things that don't go well.
It truly, again, the themes so parallel.
Oh my god! And I forgot completely that I have the comic book of the movie, of the first movie.
Hey.
That's fun.
So I could have read to you from
Oh my God.
from the scenes. Look at that. This is terrible for a podcast because I'm showing you visual things. But doesn't Hammond look like he's a schemer here?
Hammond looks like a bad boy. He
Yeah,
gonna hurt somebody there.
he's a bad boy. Oh,
Oh,
anyway.
that's well, Chris, thank you so much for sharing your love of this.
Oh my God! Thank you for asking me. I've never. I will talk for hours and hours about Jurassic Park. I don't care if this recording's done. I'm still going to be talking.
Just quietly
Chris,
to yourself.
No, we're going to talk about this forever.
Oh, yeah.
We just have to end the podcast.
I'm going to shout this out the window and hope that you hear.
You
And
live
then
very close to Chris, by the way, in real life.
So we might hear, actually.
doesn't matter where you live. I am still going to shout, and you can shout back.
Yes. All right. Well, at the end of every episode, we like to share our micro fandoms of the week, which we will do in just a moment. But before we do, here are some other ways you can connect with us. This show is always going to be free. You'll always be able to listen to it on all of your podcast providers. But you can show your support in many different ways if you would like to throw some money our way by joining us on our Patreon page, patreon.com/The Fandom Show, where for mere pennies a day. Do people still use pennies? Anyway, you can get access to episodes early. You can submit questions. You can enjoy our monthly newsletter, which, as we said earlier in this episode, is new and improved. So we are now using the newsletter to provide you with all the stuff that you can't see in an episode. So for the Jurassic Park newsletter, we're probably going to include that fun video of the guy doing the bad cover and the Lost World website and a bunch of other stuff. So you can check that out. You can also listen to our Patreon exclusive podcast, The Fan Club, where we watch movies one of us loves and the other has never seen.
You can still find us on social media. We're at Fandom Show Pod, or come on over to our website, thefandomshow.com. You can send us a message there if you'd like. Please also tell all your nerdiest friends about us, also your non-nerdy friends. And if you can, get on your podcast provider of choice, do a rate, review, and subscribe. That helps other people find us. It helps us get out there and helps us continue to do this forever and ever while sharing our love of fandom across the globe and to worlds beyond. We also have merch. So if you head on over to tpublic.com/store/The Fandom Show, you can get our faces on shirts, mugs, a pillow if you want it, I guess. If you do that, tell me. That's interesting. You can also go onto the From Superheroes Discord, where you can meet other fans or hit us up directly. Share some of your favorite Jurassic Park YouTube videos. There's a whole bunch of them on there right now at the time of recording. One of them is about a lawyer explaining all the legalities of Jurassic Park and who would get what kind of punishment. I'm so excited to watch it. Our theme song is by Yusu Kim, and our logo is by John Blair. Now on to our micro fandoms of the week. Kyah, what are you fanning out about?
Okay, so on this podcast, I have spoken before about my love for an artist named St. Vincent. Her real name is Annie Clark, but her artist name is St. Vincent. She's so cool. She is an absolute guitar legend. I think she is like the truest rock star of our era, for me anyway. And on Saturday, we saw her live, and I am still a little high about it. She was so good, like just unbelievably cool, to the point where she literally climbed up onto the second floor balcony and hung off of it and sang. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I was absolutely at an 11 the entire time. And I would say, if you are considering getting tickets to see St. Vincent in your area, oh my God, do it. She puts on one hell of a show. It was awesome.
Amazing.
Steph?
I recently watched a documentary on Netflix, and I don't know if you watch documentaries on Netflix. A lot of the time, they're woof. They're a bit woof. This one, I think it was Netflix, is Dirty Pop. It's a story about the man behind the NSYNC and Backstreet Boys during the 90s, and kind of the controversy behind him. And throughout it, I don't want to spoil it, because I learned so many incredible things through watching this documentary about what madness this man was pulling, all the strings that he was pulling to make these things happen. You know, he created them both to compete against each other so that he could keep making money and keep expanding his empire. And it just, by the end of it, my jaw was on the floor. I was stunned. But also, and this is just an aside, Kevin from the Backstreet Boys was marketed wrong to all of us. He was always marketed as the strong, stoic one. You know, he's a bit dark, a bit brooding, a bit mysterious. He seems like he was the goofiest and funnest and nerdiest of all of them, and I feel betrayed. I feel like that was 20 years of my life of thinking this guy sucked, only to find out I could have been a Kevin fan all along. He seems so lovely. It's like when you watch the Beatles documentary behind the scenes and you're like, Ringo was really the guy, you know? Like that guy kept it going and kept it light. That was Kevin, and I feel betrayed. So watch Dirty Pop if you are into boy bands and 90s nostalgia as much as I am.
Or fraud stories, because I caught the last part and it was giving full Catch Me If You Can.
It's crazy. It is just,
What?
it's
Yeah.
buck wild.
Yeah, it's a wild story.
Go on a journey with Dirty Pop, I'm telling you. Chris, what are you nerding out about right now? What are you into?
I just finished reading this book called Beartown by the same author who wrote A Man Named Ova. It's the movie that got turned into a Tom Hanks movie. But a friend recommended this book to me. It's the first part of a trilogy, and it's about it's a real it's a real tough read. There's a lot of trauma that happens in this small town that loves hockey.
Yep.
But it was such an emotional journey. It was the first time I've read something and I was like, I can see the good and the bad of myself in every one of these characters. It was fascinating. And so I'm so keen on reading parts 2 and 3. And I just found out it got turned into an HBO series.
Whoa.
So now now I have that eternal debate. Do I finish? Seems like I really am a fan of things that are books and then movies. But I'm now trying to figure out. Yeah. I guess I have a type.
Is she thick?
Oh, she got
Little
tiny
arms.
Oh yeah, pencil arms. Oh yeah.
Those pages are so thin.
Oh man.
But that spine, she's fat.
All right.
Oh God.
You're gonna get banned from libraries. Careful.
Oh my God.
Libraries.
Libraries.
Anyway, that sounds like a great book.
Yeah. It's really, really lovely. Well, not lovely. That's the wrong term. It's a tough read. But it's the thing that gets me so excited at the moment. So.
Oh, that's incredible. Chris, again, thank you so much for being here. Where can
my
people
God.
find you? Is there anything you want to plug?
People can find me online on Instagram or Twitter at Chris Leves. You might find that I've not posted in a while because I am scared of social media. But I feel like after my last, I feel like this hiatus from social media has lasted about 5 years. So I feel like I should probably post something on there soon. So join the anticipation. Follow me there.
Ooh, I love it. Chris, thank you so much. Until next time, love the things you love and tell everyone about them. Bye.
Bye.
I look like I'm set for a beautiful brunch in Miami.
The Phantom Show.